It looks like somebody did an adjustment here. Maybe it was loose. Let's pull on it. Oh yeah, it's loose right now. So okay, all right, Scag. What the hell is this shit? Okay, here is the walk around video. Some people didn't like my Gravely video, saying I was really harsh on it and that a Scag would have the same problem. Some people said that this was twice as much as the Gravely, and actually it's not. The Gravely runs about $4,700. This was about $4,600, discounted down from $52. So it just, you know, depends on where you can get them, sales, promotions, etc. So yeah, the Gravely had what, 86, 96 hours on it, and this still has 0.0. There we go. 0.0. And no, I did not remove the hour sensor. Some people do that. It's bullshit. But it's a little trigger wire. They're new. The 2020 Liberty Z on the Kawasaki didn't have this. Or maybe I didn't notice it. The Patriot did, and this does too. And the reason I say that, before you call me on BS, is the key is in the off position when this hour meter is still on. It never turns off. Whereas the 2020 models, the hour meter would only turn on when you turn the key on. So it didn't have this trigger. So you can add these to any lawnmower for like 30, 40 bucks. All it is just a little wire that wraps around your ignition coil, and every time it fires this cylinder, it starts sending pulses. When it receives pulses, it begins a little internal timer and counts the hours. So 0.0, it's not even 0.1 hours. This thing hasn't even been run for 6 minutes. But something attacked this thing last night, because I don't remember that. Nice deep scratch in the side. Lovely, huh? Well, that's okay. It's a Scag. It can take it. It's going to have a lot more battle scars here sooner than later. All right, on with the show. Let's go through this. I'm not going to go too crazy, but I just want to compare some things I see and don't like and whatever. Let's compare it to the Gravely. I don't even know where I started with the Gravely, but let's just start from the front. Here's the casters, and you remember the Gravely. Of course, it only had what, 90 hours. We'll just call it 90 hours. I was able to take that wheel and just move it like that's loose, brother. This ain't moving, man. This is solid. There's nothing wrong with that wheel. Of course, it's brand new and there shouldn't be, right? But after 90 hours on a $5,000 Gravely, it shouldn't be doing that either, right? That's solid, like a rock. The deck. I think I stood on the deck on the Gravely, and that sucker would just bounce all over the place. It doesn't take much to stand on this. I weigh 175, and I'm putting maybe 25 pounds of pressure, 35 pounds, and I can make this deck smash into the other side. Let's stand on this one and see how much it moves. Doesn't budge. Full weight up. It's lifting up on the other side, but I'm having to put a lot of weight onto this. I think this deck weighs probably in the ballpark of 150 pounds. So it's a seriously made deck here. All right, what's next? Control arms. You remember how the control arms were loose? I haven't touched this, and you can see I will adjust these later on, because every single zero turn I see, let's see, every single zero turn, that's pretty damn close. Some of them are really off on the bars, like the space. You'll get them like that far off, and it goes straight down. So when you hold them, when you go all the way forward, let's try it. Yep. Oh, a little bit. It's a little bit off. So we're going to correct that. So even on a brand new Scag from the factory, they're off a little bit. But that's okay, because you just turn these bolts here, the ones with the blue Loctite, on them. I don't know if that's Loctite or what kind of material that is, but to keep it from moving, you just make your adjustments there. The critical thing is you want it to go, you want it to track forward, straight down. In other words, if you have to do this for it to go straight, then you've got obvious problems. But what you do is you put the control arm all the way forward, you adjust those 2 bolts, make sure it tracks straight, and then you come back and then you make adjustments here. Remove that bolt. Matter of fact, they're in the up position, so you can lower these. You know, I was wondering that. I hopped on this thing and I drove it off the trailer and into my garage, and I said, man, these bars seem a little bit higher than the 48. I think I know why. They're on the top rung, so you can actually pull this bolt, drop this whole thing down, shift it down. That's interesting that it's like that. I don't recall moving these on mine. So anyways, it looks like somebody did an adjustment here. Maybe it was loose. Let's pull on it. Oh yeah, it's loose right now. So okay, all right, Scag. What the hell is this shit? I shouldn't be able to just move this. What the hell? So there's your issue right there. It's level now. So I'm gonna have to tune this up. So much for their PDI, right? Remember I told you before, I've had issues with buying a new Scag and it coming from the dealership. Now this is not Scag, or maybe it is, but it's something that the dealer should address before this thing gets delivered. PDI is pre-delivery inspection. And on a Scag, they come off the crate pretty much assembled and ready to go. Minor things need to be done with a checklist. They actually provide a checklist, and still sometimes it's just half-assed. Like, all you have to do with these is check the oil, connect the battery cable, pull the tie wrap off the seat, and put fuel in it. Matter of fact, these guys that started it, they didn't even know that the fuel switch was off. Let's see if it'll focus here. Anyways, that red little lever, of course, why would it focus? Anyways, yeah, they couldn't get this thing to start. It started up, it came off the pallet, and then it died. And then they sat here for 2 minutes trying to start it. They put gas in it. I'm like, hey, your fuel switch. And it was like, oh yeah. And the guy's like, yeah, the fuel switch needs to be pointed towards you. And I'm like, yeah, this is my 3rd one. We kind of laughed about it. But anyways, I have not checked the tires. I'll probably cut and go get my tire pressure gauge, and I'll check these tires, see where they're at. I bet you that's another issue. They may or may not have checked the tires. I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the previous one, they were like 30 PSI in the tires for shipping, for transport, when they're supposed to be, I'm just guessing, 10 or 12 in the front and 8 in the back. It's been a while, but we'll check the manual and we'll make sure that everything's dialed in. So we'll get these arms, we'll make sure everything tracks right, and then we'll adjust those and we'll bring them down, we'll tighten it up. So even from the factory, we've got some minor issues, attention to detail, but with this, in this condition right now, you couldn't mow. You know, somebody would have an issue. If somebody walked into a dealership, paid $5,000+ for this, and got home and started mowing and started pushing on this, and this thing just did that, they have every right to be pissed off. They shouldn't have to sit here and adjust damn bolts to make this thing right so it'll mow. That's kind of ridiculous. Dealership or Scag, we don't know. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter, right? Anywho, what else can we pick apart here? Matter of fact, let me cut right here, and I'm going to go grab a pressure gauge, if I can find a darn thing, and let's check the tire pressure. All right, that was off. 25 PSI for the front and 8 PSI for the back. I think I said 10 or 12 or something for the front. That's on a long tractor. So let's see. It's in real time. I'm going to put the camera down here. It's not going to be the best angle. We're going to spin this wheel around. Oh wait, there we go. Oh no, there's a sticker on the inside. Spin this guy around. And we're just going to do this in real time here. Unscrew the valve stem cap. Got my handy little Michelin tire pressure gauge. I've been using this for years, man. Let's see what we got. Let's see if you guys can see this darn thing. 40 PSI, folks. Can't make this shit up. Tire pressure set my ass. Let's try the other one. Let's put the camera down here. I know it's not the best angle. Give me a second. Unedited, right? Got some brush on the radio in the background. Get the valve stem here. All right. We're on 0. Wouldn't set down, right? I let a little out. 37.4. Can't make this shit up. Let's check the back. All right. So there's the back tire. I'm going to set the tire down again. Pulling off the valve stem cap. I mean, at 0 is it set. I don't have to show you this, but I'm showing you anyways. I'm hitting on and I'm hitting 0. So matter of fact, it's 0, right? I'm going to put it down. Pick the camera up. See if I can do this left-handed here. So again, 0, 0. I haven't touched these damn tires. 21.8. Should be, what did I say? 12? 8? I think it's 8. Oh, there you go. Duh. There's a sticker on this one. The stickers fall off. Inflate to 8 PSI. I don't know if you guys can see that. Lights on the other side here. All right, unscrew. Again, I'm just gonna put this on the pressure gauge, and as soon as I hit it, it'll light up. 19, should be 8. Not critical, right? I mean, I get it. You put more air in there so there's no flat spots. It's for transportation. But Jesus Christ, when you get these things off a crate and you do your 3 or 4 steps that you need to do for make ready, matter of fact, oh, don't get me started. This was promised to be ready by 11 a.m. I got there at 11 a.m. It wasn't ready. So they had to go in, hurry up, pull it off the crate, add some oil, add some gas, and they didn't have time. They checked it off on their list, but they didn't do it, obviously. So tire pressure not set properly. Arm not properly set. I don't know if that's a dealer or a Scag thing. The brakes, I don't know. We'll have to operate this, but to set the parking brake here. It just by feel, it seems to be okay. Again, we'll need to operate this first. Let's see what else we can find. Any other issues? Let me grab the light. What else did I do? I'm trying to think of what I did with the Gravely. The seat. Armrests feel okay. Pretty tight. The seat's heavy. We'll have to adjust it. So that's nice. It doesn't just go flying forward. I think the Gravely did that. I know a lot of them do. Maybe this thing was, it just seems like flimsy. Like that's really thin. That the whole thing, I'm just taking my hand and just trying to raise the seat up and the whole thing. It seems nice and tight. This has got a nice firm feel to it. I'm wiggling the hell out of this. I'm shaking the camera more than I am the seat. But this is solid. So this feels good. All right, you remember the Patriot? It had some covers like this, real thin covers that were over, and I told you that Liberty was built into the frame. This is what I'm talking about. It doesn't make that noise. That was just hideous on the Patriot. It's super thin. Not to mention noisy as hell. They could do something better than that. Belts, pulleys, everything real solid under here. Everything's wire loomed, like I said. With the exception of, this seems like it's an afterthought. This is that hour meter for the hour meter, the sensor wire. It comes down and it goes and wraps around. Comes up here, wraps around the fuel lines, and every mower I've seen, this isn't a Scag thing, this isn't every mower I've seen now, is running this style hour meter that stays on and has a trigger wire that's just after the fact. Minor things, but wire loom, what is this, breather hose probably, crankcase or fuel breather, yep. So, seems to be okay. We'll go through it more. I like to tidy stuff up and reroute wires and add some tie wraps and just make sure everything's good. I don't want anything to rub around prematurely and wear out and then have an issue. Like I might. No, this seems okay. As long as nothing's being snagged, everything breathes well. So I put some nice protector here on the fuel line, right over here as it's rubbing. It's touching the engine, so anything that's touching after vibration can wear through, and that's nice. Let's see, let me grab my light here. Let's check the air filter while we're here. So air filter, I'm lifting up and I'm trying to turn the element on the pipe and I cannot. So this set screw seems nice and tight. Let's try and turn it on the throttle body. It'll be a little difficult, but no, that's nice and tight. That's what you want. You don't want any dust at all to leak through either one of these areas here. So the filter's in, the rubber's all the way up to the bottom of the filter, and this is pushed all the way down to a little stop on the neck. That's what you want. And when this is all the way in and tight, the lid will close nice. I see some of them that don't close all the way, or people have to slam them. You shouldn't have to do that. Come on down. Fuel solenoid shut off. There's the ground wire, that's okay. Here's your throttle and your choke. I like a manual choke. Let's see, I know I'm all over the place. This camera is different than the GoPro. Alright, here's your clutch wire. It kind of floats in the wind, not a big deal. I mean, it is what it is. I do see one issue here. Minor, but this wire loom, it's resting on the spring. I think this is your idler pulley spring, this big black spring underneath this wire loom here where my thumb is, right underneath it, that spring. So minor issue, but what I might do is they got a tie wrap up here, that's nice, and they got a tie wrap down there, that's nice. I might put another tie wrap here and just kind of get this off of that spring, because this spring is moving. That's an idler pulley, it's always moving with the belts. So I might pull that up off of there, maybe reroute this over here, put another tie wrap there. I mean, it's done well. Scag does a damn good job with this. This wire loom, it's not cheap wire loom. It's a bear to work with. If you have to do electrical work on this, yeah, it's gonna be a mother. But I mean, the way it branches off the main trunks down to the branches and stuff, it's nice. It's nicely done. And that's a good job. These are nice belts. The pulleys, the idlers, everything it's solid. Everything is solid about this Scag. That's why I got the damn thing. Patriot and all there, you go up from here and it gets seriously heavier duty, but this is no joke, my friends. People that knock the Liberty Z, they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, Scag fanboys or Gravely fanboys, you got your Deere fanboys out there. Scag's no joke. So this Liberty Z is their residential version, and they'll back it with a 5-year warranty, and it's great. This is quality stuff. So I'm not complaining about the minor details like the tire pressure and this stuff. This is easily fixed, but it's easily fixed for someone maybe like yourself and I that work on this stuff and we get into this stuff and we like this stuff. But for somebody that wants a turnkey mower delivered and they want to go and cut the grass, they shouldn't have to be screwing with that stuff. The tire pressure should be set how it should be, you know. Now it's like, okay, what else do I got to do? Do I got to check the oil level? Do I got to check tensioners? Do I got to check every nut and bolt on here? It's just it's false sense of security. It makes you wonder. But man, all the welds on this, all the metal. Let me get a light in here for you guys. All the metal, everything is just friggin' stout. Powder coated, quality. There's no badges. Like, you remember the what was it, the Gravely, the sticker, and even a new one on the showroom was like falling off. I mean, this is solid. It's bolted on, right? Bolts, not rivets, bolts. rivets on the Gravely, bolts on the Scag. But man, just everything has just such a nice fit and finish to it. And some guys will remove these. I don't find it to be a problem, and I never did on my 48. I may do it, but I've never had a belt jump on these, and I've never had an issue blowing the dirt out. The dirt and grass clippings can sometimes accumulate in there. But I use a Milwaukee blower, and I blow under the deck. I blow this thing off every time I use it. Check the filter, check the oil, all that stuff. Check the tires, and man, just put it away. And next week I come out, cranks right up, and away we go. But all right, well, we're gonna have to use her. You know, fire her up and take her outside and see how she drives. We're gonna have to fix the tracking, fix the arms, minor stuff. But we're gonna have to engage the brake, make sure the clutch is wearing okay, and then we'll do our, probably it's an 8-hour break-in oil change. I've been reading too many manuals on too many motors lately. But 5, 8, 10, somewhere in that ballpark. Now they say, the rumor is that you can go back and you can research lawn forums and all that, and they talk about break-in oil and this, and oh, they're already pre-broken in, or oh, the factory is updated, there's no break-in. I don't care, man. There's still metal shavings in there that the filter may or may not catch. Hopefully it does, right? But I mean, peace of mind, just change the oil after like 8 hours, 10 hours, and put some fresh oil in there, and the filter. Get rid of that filter. The newer filters are out, by the way. The 7007, let's see what's on here. Matter of fact, let me grab my light. 7007 is the old part number, and then it went to a, what, 70724? And then if you want the larger capacity filter, it's a 7010. Of course, the stickers on the bottom, I can't even see what filter is on here, but we'll find out when we pull it off, when it's time. But that's the smaller filter, and you can get the larger capacity filter, and it'll stick out like about an extra inch or so. And the old part number for this again is 7007. The larger capacity filter is 7010. And if you search those on Amazon, it'll automatically redirect you, or it should, to the new part number, and then the larger 7010 filter to redirect you to the larger capacity filter. I'm talking way too much. I'm trying to get way too much, a lot of information out. And of course, these videos are never short, right? This is probably going to be 20-30 minutes, but so far so good, except for the damn control arm and tire pressure. Like I said, minor stuff, but shouldn't have to fuss with it. And I still don't know how the hell that happened. That's just gonna drive me nuts. Beating it up, and I haven't even drove the damn thing. I don't know. I have to go back and look at my previous video now. Something may have been moved. It might have been that other mower, because they were pretty close. I had them side by side. The other mower's gone. Anyways, I'm done yapping. Oh yeah, let's see the front. I think I banged on this. Bolts. Again. Solid, man. It's no Gravely. You go buy a Gravely, that's fine. If it works, wonderful, but I'll keep my Scag. Alright, quick documentation before I forget. I adjusted the arms, I set them. They track fine. Well, I assume they will. I'll make those adjustments if I need to. Got rid of the deck latch. It already drove me nuts. Didn't even have to drive it. Let's see. On to the other issues. Did some tidying of the breather and the fuel line. Put some tie wraps there. Put another tie wrap there. And get some light for you guys. And did some more tie wrapping down in there. And the trigger wire for the hour meter, I didn't like the way it was routed, so I rerouted it on the breather hose. Put some more tie wraps down on the bottom. Re-tie wrapped it here. And then over here, I reseated the air filter. I didn't like the way let's see if I can get an angle here. Zooming in on you guys. Oops. Repositioned this, just took it off, flipped it around. I noticed some oil on the inside here. I don't know what that's about, but cleaned all that up. We're good to go there. And the battery cable was loose. Imagine that. This is kind of seated wrong, but I routed the negative in this way. There's a pad missing in here. There's a little foam pad that should be in here to keep the battery from moving, so I might have to correct that. It's not moving very much, but the Liberty Z48 had that. This one doesn't. So on to more tie wrapping down here. Right here, let me get this light in position. Right here, the little fuse doodad here, it's got 2 holes and it snaps into place. It wasn't snapped in fully, so I snapped that in fully and reworked some wires up here, and down in there, I added some extra tie wraps. There were some already there, but I added some more. So just basically tidied up everything, make sure that there's no interference, readjusted the seat, and that's about it. Oh, I set the air pressure correctly. And now we're going to install a hurricane mulch kit. I'm probably not going to film that because in the interest of time I need to get rolling. But I will show you some photos on the next video and we'll go from there. So overall, I've been putting, I don't know, 3 hours into this thing and I haven't even started it up. I mean, we're still at 0, on the hour meter, so lots of corrections that needed to be made, but nonetheless, I make sure my mower's straight. I don't trust anybody. Anyways, alright guys, we'll see you next time. Take care. No way. Oh man, I'm gonna have to put air in it now. Oh hell, man, I let more air out. It calls for 25 psi. Oh, I'm screwed.